based out of Hyderabad. I'm an IT professional. I'm a software professional based out of Hyderabad, and passionately, we both are lifestyle coaches itself. And it started with our whole family itself. They got positively impacted to the community. They got rid of a lot of issues, and that inspired us to contribute more to the community. And long way to now, as a coach, we are right now showcasing one of our WQ champion who has accomplished so many transformation, so many like different parts of the transformation. He's an IIM Bangalore alumni right now, based out of Bangalore. Help me welcome Aditya. So Aditya, you can give a little bit of intro about yourself. I think you'll have the permission to unmute now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you everyone for having me in this session. It's always a privilege to first of all share my journey, my experience of having gone through this transformation, and secondly, being associated with Piyush and Palak has really helped me in many ways. So I would like to go ahead and showcase some aspects of my journey as well as how it has impacted my life in a positive.
Awesome. So, yeah. So, can you introduce a little bit about yourself, from where you hail from, and right now what all you are doing, and what was the, let's say, state of let's say yours before you came to us, and you started on the WQ program.
Sure, sure. So I'll just start with a brief intro about myself. I'm based out of Bangalore, but originally hail from Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. By profession, I work in strategy consulting, primarily mergers, acquisitions, and operations implementation. And like you mentioned, by qualification, I'm an MBA from IIM Bangalore, passed out 4 years ago, and since then have been working in the same industry, same domain. So, from a health standpoint, I was a person who was never conscious of what I'm doing, what my small habits are culminating to a long-term effect on my health. So, in 2023, around August or September, I started feeling a lot of symptoms, starting with tiredness when I used to get up in the morning daily, which used to impact my work. Then suddenly I started feeling pain in my joints whenever I resumed running or started skipping as a part of my daily exercise routine. Uh, I used to feel a lot of exhaustiveness at the end of the day, maybe by around 8 p.m. or so. Apart from this, my I got tested for various parameters. My vitamin D, B levels were very low. I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. That was the first time I came to know about such a condition, and it was a vicious cycle. So I was not getting good quality of sleep. That was impacting my work in terms of delayed start, loss of productivity, which again resulted in me spending more time at work, delaying my sleep hours. uh, I used to go to bed around 11:30, and there was no device-free time for me before my sleep. So this continued, and it started impacting other factors as well. So when I had gone for a medical checkup, I was suggested to treat the symptoms rather than look at the root cause at the core cause of what's happening to me. And that's when I realized maybe I need to change my the way I have been leading my life. And I know Piyush from Hyderabad, so we used to live next to each other. And I know that he was a part of WQ, so I immediately reached out to him, first inquiring whether he's still continuing that, and second, just explaining what my condition is, what my current state is, and to see if there is anything that can be done to improve my conditions through wellness quotient. And that's how I got in touch with Piyush Palak again. and started my journey. So it's been close to, so I've been associated with this program for 4 months. Uh, but the learnings that I have taken from Piyush and Palak, I've been trying to implement on a daily basis, and it's had a really good impact so far.
So, what was your state of mind at that time before, like before starting the WQ program, and like what all challenges that you were facing at that time?
Because what happens is the person at let's say at let's say your experience and the working hours, the number of working hours which you have been putting in your office, right? They always hesitate to take on one more thing in their lifestyle, right? That okay, if I would be able to work on my health or not, right? Because I'm already working, let's say 12, 13 hours a day, and I have family to take care of. How would I take care of my health, or let's say put let alone working on a overall program itself? So yeah, what was that mindset?
Yes, yes. In a way, you're right. So the kind of profession I'm in, it demands spending maybe 12 to 13 hours on a daily basis. Any outlier would be maybe 8 to 9 hours. So did this thought did cross through my mind that will I be able to carve out time specifically for focusing on my health? Uh, but the factors that helped me overcome this was the state in which I was and the reports that I had been conveyed by the doctor. Uh, that really completely shifted my mindset. Earlier, my goal was always to focus on job, career, growth, family, etc. Health was never a part of this equation. But that moment onwards, I realized that maybe the race that we all are running are it's a different race. It's not meant for me. The actual race I need to run is something which deals with well-being and health. And that's when like people who are working in maybe product companies might come across a metric called North Star metric. So that's when I decided I'll make health and well-being as my North Star metric and subordinate all my decisions related to career, everything else in my life to health. So this was a big mindset shift that started when I decided to join the program, but towards the end of the program, it has completely uh, been ingrained. So uh, yeah, I would be happy to say that yes. Now this is the way my thinking goes along in whatever activity I do. If I think of maybe making a shift or taking up more work, the first thing that goes in my mind is will this impact my schedule with respect to what I do from a health standpoint? So yeah,
Absolutely.
putting in long hours can be an excuse for many people, but there is always time. So if you plan to sleep for 8 hours, you can still carve out 30, 45 minutes of time on a daily basis to maybe focus on your health. And it's not complicated. It's, like we'll discuss maybe in the subsequent sessions. So it's not that complicated. It's pretty simple, just doing basic stuff what our ancestors used to do. That's what.
Absolutely. So what do you feel right now? Like let's say after the WQ program, you have been going through a lot of it. It was not just the ups, right? It was downs and ups both, right? For you, and so many situations we had to keep on intervening, and it was always a two-way communication from our side also that okay, what can we do if we are not able to do this or that? So what all the things right now, what is the state of your mind you would like to describe, and what all changed after the WQ? What all results, what all improvements did you got in a brief?
Sure. Yeah. So for the improvements, I'll just start with a high level improvement in my sleep quality and then move on to all the physical parameters and well-being parameters. So when I was diagnosed with sleep apnea, so there was a metric called AHI. I think it's called apnea hypopnea index. This was about 20 for me, which in layman terms would be between moderate to high range. This was in October to November 23, that time period. Uh, the last time I got tested, I think it was last week, and the AHI index now is around 12 to 13, which is the mild to moderate range. So it is still a work in progress in terms of getting the apnea levels down. But in 3, 4 months, I've seen a considerable improvement in this particular index. But moving, keeping aside the metric, qualitatively in terms of sleep. So, pehle, I use a tracker to a Samsung tracker to track my sleep quality. So before joining the program, it used to always be between 55, 60, some days 65 onwards, quality of sleep. And the number of hours of sleep, hardly 6.5 hours. 6.5 would be an extreme, maybe 5.5, 6 hours. And uske baad, once I started joining the program, slowly, maybe into the second week of the program, I started seeing a considerable shift from that in that score from maybe early 60s to late 60s, and towards the end, late 70s to 80s. I used to constantly clock 8 to 8.5 hours of sleep without compromising on the work as well that I've been doing, and setting aside time for well-being activities. So quality of sleep was one that I want to highlight, and associated changes with this. For example, I had joint pain issues, maybe primarily stemming from vitamin D deficiency, and that started improving maybe 1 month into the program itself. I did not face any pain uh, once I resumed running, skipping across all surfaces, maybe on treadmill, on my society's cement road, grass, etc. Earlier, I used to think maybe on the surface that I'm carrying out these activities might contribute to that, but it was clear that it was mainly vitamin D, and that led to an improvement in my physical well-being as well, because I could do more cardio-related activities. Uh, Other than that, so once my sleep quality and joint issues were resolved, overall, if I look at from a strength training perspective, I could easily increase the weights that I was lifting, the number of push-ups that I was able to do. So all the associated changes that come with improved physical conditions. Again, vitamin D levels improved, the blood reports improved, and yeah, beyond that, the mindset change, the most important thing. So there was a session which I attended, Eat, Delete, Complete session. I think it was one of the first sessions that was provided during the introduction phase. That was a mind changer for me. Especially, I never used to concentrate on what I'm intaking in terms of food, sugar content kitna hota hai usme, how much effort it goes to compensate for the junk that you have taken in on a regular basis. So, वो mindset change I've seen in myself. In terms of having self control कि कितना क्या quantity लेना है, and जब भी कोई quantity या जब भी कोई food दिखता है which I used to take in maybe 3-4 times a week. Like I was addicted to ice creams, chocolates, Indian fast food, pani puri, chaat, stuff like that. It's been a complete shift, maybe 180-degree shift from there. I do occasionally have that, but at a good in a controlled quantity. So that shift, and second, people around me, immediate family like my wife, my parents, the immediate colleagues that I interact with on a daily basis. So physical appearance obviously dikhta hai. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but I've reduced almost 11 kgs from November to June. I think 2 days back I had checked my weight. So physical appearance में लोगों को दिख जाता है कि something has changed, and that's when the conversation starts, and people get interested to know what exactly I've been doing, etc. So overall, from improvement in sleep quality to physical parameters to associated stuff like uh, improvement in my mindset, and eventually spreading that, trying to spread that to my immediate family members, friends, etc. So it's been really good. And like I mentioned, it's not something that requires me to drastically change what I've been doing or how I've been living my life for maybe 29 years. Small incremental changes that I've seen resulted in these benefits. And even after the program, I've been trying to diligently continue following what the both of you have suggested me, and it's been helping me a lot, even after say March or April.
Correct. So as you mentioned कि पहले you were able to sleep only 5 hours, 5.5 hours, so that definitely was affecting your productivity levels in terms of your work. तो after that when you are saying कि 7.5 hours, 8 hours तक you were able to complete your sleep, because अगर नींद अच्छी होती है तो दिन अच्छा जाता है. It is kind of that, because you're able to put a lot of efforts in terms of your workout also and other things. So how the productivity levels apart from health, like how it is impacted your work?
Yeah, you're able to push through in some areas and work also now.
Yes, yes, it has impacted positively. So, like I mentioned earlier, when my sleep quality was not good, say I need to start work at 8 a.m. That 8 a.m. used to get pushed to 9:30. Physically, I was present, but mentally, that tiredness or exhaustiveness feeling was there. So, 7:30 बजे 8 बजे जो start होना चाहिए था, that used to get delayed by 9:30, and that used to have an effect on my closing time again. And due to the lag in the start, productivity भी थोड़ा मतलब you feel like your day has not started well. You feel that laziness mentally, and you need time to get into the zone of working. So all that used to impact my productivity, and this is not 1 or 2 days. It's a prolonged, it's a cumulative accumulation of a lot of days, and people will start thinking that maybe this is your way of working, and this is the best that the person can contribute to his or her profession, etc. So post my post me clocking maybe 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep on a regular basis now. Uh, Simple change, like the lag that I used to experience in beginning my work from at the initial time of the day, that has completely gone. And primarily, so sleep quality is one, and second, because I'm able to now find time to work out in the morning before I start work. So it has helped me a lot in terms of productivity. I don't feel tired mentally in the morning. And evening, to ensure that I get 8 hours of sleep again, I have to have a boundary of what time I need to cut off. And to ensure, do that, you must be productive. You can't uh, allow work to creep in, or maybe do the work in an unproductive manner. So yeah, overall it has impacted my productivity, but it's not only because of sleep. It's a host of other associated well-being factors. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, what are the three key points you would like to credit your transformation to?
Hmm. Uh, so before WQ, I also was a part of a similar program. It was called Reshape Nation, I think. And the difference that I saw between that and this program was firstly the concept of coach and coachee or client here. What I have felt and what made a key difference for me in this journey was Palak and Piyush both handholding me through the entire transformation journey right from day one. Simple things like maybe sharing a pic of whatever I take on a daily basis, having that checklist, having regular checkpoints. I think we had weekly, initially we met weekly twice or thrice, and then it went on to weekly once. So this entire process of hand-holding a person who's new to this journey and motivating them. So motivation is, so you'll have inherent motivation for maybe 1 or 2 weeks. You paid some amount for a service. It's like gym subscription. For the first 2, 3 weeks, maybe you'll feel motivated, and then uh, there'll be days where you'll feel, why am I doing this? Maybe I can get a surgery and get it done. I can just take some medicines and temporarily suppress the symptoms, etc. So, from a motivation standpoint and handholding in the entire journey, I think this coachy concept was something different for me here, and that is the first factor or the major factor that I would say has helped me in this journey. Second, like I mentioned, there was no drastic change in what I was doing. Say, for example, diet slowly, maybe week 1 to week 5, the changes were very slow. It was not as if I had to change entirely from day one what I'm consuming. So that is the second thing. And third, I think this entire community, WQ, especially the content part that was available in the Atlas app. So, like, there are many options available for people who want to get physically fit, cult fit YouTube videos, or maybe n number of videos on YouTube to work on the core, etc. But what I found was, especially in terms of diet, the recipes that were provided in the application, the uh, focus on breathing exercises, meditation, as well as what uh, sessions involving diet, all um, accumulated in a single platform was difficult to find. This the content that is available was really helpful for me, especially from a mindset point of view, because you need to know why you're doing something and what impact it will have before actually getting into doing that. So if you tell me, if you introduce somebody saying you have sugar level cut karna hai, you can't simply say ki cut karna hai karo. You need to explain to them कहाँ से sugar intake हो रहा है, इसको क्या impact है इसका, and then क्यों cut करना चाहिए. So that mental model I think was developed through the content that was available in WQ. So I think yeah,
Absolutely.
this was another benefit which I experienced from this program. And yeah, the rest I think it also depends on the individual's motivation. So you, from a coach point of view, you can do your best, and the individual needs to also put in an effort from his or her standpoint. I really want to get motivated, get transformed. So I
Yeah.
think overall, majorly factors are from WQ. This coachy concept, it's really amazing. I've been a part of maybe personal training subscriptions before in gym. It never works like this. You spend maybe 1.5 hours, that's it. You're cut off from them. Again, you go tomorrow. And for them, you're just one among many. So here, even though I know Piyush, that you handle a lot of clients, maybe 30 plus, I don't know the latest count, but still at a personal level, there's a very good relation that is maintained, and that really helps in this entire journey.
So just as a last question, I want to ask that what are the three, oh sorry, what are the, let's say, what is the one or two good things, let's say, you want to tell to the people who want to also draw an inspiration from you today, who are actually looking at you, so many, like it's more than 700 people who have logged in today, and so who are already part of the journey, or let's say who are yet to make a decision to be part of the journey. What maybe one or two things you can tell them, and maybe in quick 2 3 sentences that, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, one thing which I'll tell them that this change will not happen overnight. It will happen over time. So if you do it for maybe 1 week and start expecting, okay, after 1 week I'm not seeing any results. Simple example, weight reduction. If in 1 week you're not seeing maybe 1 2 kilos reduction, don't get demotivated or disheartened. It's a slow process, and you need to just trust the process. The people who you're engaged with, the coaches, the community, they're experienced. They've done this for n number of cases before. So just trust the process, have faith in them, and start following whatever they are doing. So slowly over time, maybe give it 2 to 3 months at least, you'll start seeing considerable changes. And second, like I mentioned, motivation levels. If uh, you've paid a good fee for their service, so that can be one motivation. But uh, inherently, also a person needs to put in some effort. So coaches will do their bit, but आपको भी थोड़ा just maybe try to spend 30 minutes of time on 30 to 45 minutes of time on a daily basis, and the rest, I mean, you'll see the magic happens, like we saw in the introductory video, right?
It's awesome.
Thank you so much, Aditya, for sharing your journey with all of us. And it will reach many, many people. And kudos to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.